When you look back at WWE history, some moments just feel larger than life. Exploding rings, fire everywhere, snakes in the ring, and crazy stunts that made fans believe anything was possible. But as wild as they looked, a lot of these moments had secrets hiding behind them. Let's pull back the curtain on how WWE pulled off some of their most iconic stunts. Let's kick it off with one of the most jaw-dropping visuals of all time. The ring collapse. Back in 2003, Brock Lesnar superplexed the Big Show from the top rope and the entire ring exploded beneath them. Fans thought the impact literally broke the ring in half. But here's the truth, WWE had hidden airbags under one side of the ring. As soon as Brock and Show climbed up the turnbuckle, the crew inflated them just enough so that when they came crashing down, the post gave way and the canvas collapsed. You can even spot the air pump on the floor earlier in the match if you look closely. It was pure WWE magic. Now from explosions to fire, the Inferno match. Kane himself explained in his autobiography how they made this insane stipulation safe. Well, safe-ish. Before heading out, the wrestlers were coated in flame-resistant chemicals. When it was time for Kane to catch fire, he slid under the ring where crew members swapped out his sleeve for one made with flame-proof material and coated it with cooling gel. Then, when he was shoved into the flames, the fire caught on the sleeve instead of his actual skin. Still dangerous, but with enough tricks to avoid disaster. Speaking of dangerous, remember when Edge and Christian popularized the concerto? Two steel chairs swung right at an opponent's head at the same time. It looked brutal, but the trick was timing and camera work. The chairs would actually collide just behind the opponent's head, creating a loud crashing sound while leaving a safe gap. But here's the catch. If even one chair swing was mistimed by a fraction of a second, someone really could get concussed. That's why WWE eventually banned the double concerto and replaced it with a safer one-man version. And then there was the spotlight stunt at Backlash 2009, when Big Show chokeslammed John Cena through a massive stage light. The glass wasn't glass at all. It was sugar glass, which looks real but shatters harmlessly. The inside of the spotlight was packed with foam padding to cushion Cena's fall, and the explosion? That came from pyrotechnics placed on the sides, timed perfectly so the blast went outwards, not where Cena was. Of course, WWE loves using animals to scare fans, but not everything was real. Take Jake the Snake Roberts' feud with Randy Savage. At their wedding angle, the Cobra in the gift box wasn't alive. It was just a rubber prop shot from the right angle. But when Savage got bitten in the ring, that was a real Cobra, with its venom glands removed. Still, the fangs were real, so Savage's arm bled, and he ended up with a fever days later. Ironically, the snake died less than 2 weeks after. Even when WWE used real animals, someone always took a risk, and sometimes the stunts were as much about camera tricks as they were about guts. In 2001, Jeff Hardy's pyro accidentally blasted him on SmackDown. In reality, the sparks were made from harmless grains that didn't burn skin. Hardy also drenched his hair and clothes in water before the segment so nothing would catch fire. The effect looked real, but Jeff was protected the entire time. Another classic trick? The barricades. Fans love it when a wrestler gets speared through that wall separating the ring from the crowd, but WWE's barricades are actually built in sections that can be loosened before the spot. The section being targeted is rigged to break easily, while the rest stay standing. And when wrestlers go through the side where fans are sitting, those aren't always real fans. WWE plants extras, usually indie wrestlers, to take the bump safely and give the perfect over-the-top reaction. And who could forget Triple H's legendary weapon of choice, the sledgehammer? Early on it was a fake, a real wooden handle, but the head was rubber. Later, Hunter switched to the real deal, but always kept his hand covering the metal head so no one took an actual skull-crushing blow. From the crowd's angle, it looked devastating, but in reality, it was all about control. Sometimes though, things were more low-tech. Kevin Owens has one of the most terrifying regular spots in WWE, getting slammed head first into the steel steps. The trick? Owens angles his body so that the top edge of the steps hits his upper back, not his skull. At the same time, he throws his hands over the back of his head to shield it just before impact. It still hurts, but it's controlled pain, not a concussion. Even props had their secrets. One of the scariest visuals WWE ever created was when the Great Khali squeezed Rey Mysterio's head so hard that blood started pouring from Rey's mouth. It looked like Khali's bare hands were crushing Rey's skull, but the reality was a lot less brutal. During the close-up on Khali, a ringside crew member slipped Rey a tiny capsule. Because he was wearing black gloves, the capsule was nearly invisible. Rey bit into it just before Khali applied the hold. To the crowd, it looked like Rey was bleeding internally. To Rey, it just tasted like bad pancake syrup. And of course, there are the times wrestlers go through the actual ring. Dean Ambrose once revealed in his book that WWE always has crew members hiding underneath the ring. When a wrestler is about to crash through, those crew members pull away the wooden boards beneath the canvas and place extra padding. After the spot, they quickly slide things back into place. At SummerSlam, when Undertaker chokeslammed Edge through the ring, the crew had to pull the padding out instantly so pyros could blast from below. Edge, stuck in the smoke with no mask, nearly suffocated waiting to climb out. But here's the thing, WWE loved to make big men look even bigger. Case in point, the Great Khali crushing fruit backstage. He smashed cantaloupes and watermelons with his bare hands to prove his strength. The trick? Those fruits were pre-cut at the back, so the second Khali applied pressure, they split perfectly. Juice flying everywhere for the cameras. Years later, Braun Strowman got the same treatment with an apple, but if you slow it down, you'll spot a small pre-cut that made the smash look effortless. These tricks weren't about showing real strength, they were about creating unforgettable visuals. Then there's one of the strangest stunts ever, Batista's car segment with John Cena in 2010. During their I Quit match, Batista backed a car into Cena near the stage. Fans thought Cena was crushed, but there was a big black crash box right next to the car. As soon as the camera cut, Cena slid behind it, making it look like he was pinned without actually being touched. One of the most dangerous looking bumps, wrestlers going through the steel cage. But the cage always has one pre-weakened side, with links barely holding together. The wrestlers avoid touching that section until it's time. That's why the panel sometimes breaks before the wrestler even hits it. Even Vince McMahon wasn't above stunts. Remember $1 Million Mania when the stage collapsed on him? WWE rigged a hidden trapdoor on the platform he was standing on, and the massive LED board was released by hidden levers. Vince just had to duck and sell the fall. It looked terrifying, but it was all staged. And sometimes the stunts were far riskier than fans realized. When Mae Young was powerbombed through a table at age 77, WWE placed a hidden crash mat under the table and had Bubba Ray Dudley take most of the impact for her. Even then, it was a terrifying risk, but Mae wanted to do it. Finally, let's talk about one of WWE's strangest matches ever, the Eye for an Eye match between Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio. Fans thought Rey literally lost an eyeball that night. In reality, Rey used his thumb to shield his eye against the steel steps while a fake eyeball prop was slipped into place to complete the effect. With the right camera angle, it looked horrifying, but Rey walked away with both eyes intact. And that's the crazy part about WWE. For every jaw-dropping stunt, there's always a hidden secret behind it. From sneaky props to clever camera angles, the magic of wrestling is equal parts illusion, athleticism, and pure entertainment. So the next time you see someone bleeding, a ring collapsing, or a superstar getting crushed, just remember, there's always more going on than meets the eye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.